Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
This is the glorious one, Bobby Roode, and you're watching Going In Raw.
What's up, it's your girl, Sasha Banks, the Legit Boss, and you're watching Going In Raw. You like that?
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Lars.
Yeah, watching. Thanks for watching. And welcome back to Going In Raw.
Calling it a day
the only
already,
pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here, youtube.com/Steve Larson. Sorry, I got thrown off immediately. I looked down at the live chat, and Dom L said, am I missing something, or have they not yet started? We started at a later time now, 10 a.m. Pacific,
Yeah.
1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Boris time. So, anyways, Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here, youtube.com/Stephen Larson. Available wherever podcasts can be found. We got a couple new patrons over there on the Patreon, Larson. So I'm going to give them some shout outs real quick, because at $1 you get a shout out and our eternal thanks, and you get to watch the show ad free.
Yes.
At $5 you get 5 bonus episodes every single week.
$10 you get a signed postcard. $20 you get a Friendo Care Package Plus, the ability to put your video questions on Matt Chat.
You want to be on Matt Chat? $20.
$50 you get all that plus an exclusive T-shirt.
Blue Monkey G and Solid Croft.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
That really goes a long way. Monday Night Raw from Madison Square Garden, Larson.
Yeah.
I felt like they had some pep in their step last night.
Yeah, a little bit.
Austin was in the building, and man, nothing to this day, nothing gets a pop when the glass breaks. When the glass breaks.
Yeah.
Crowd went crazy for him. He's got the juice, man.
Yeah.
That's what he's got.
Well, I mean, that magnitude of a superstar, that's something that, granted, it took Stone Cold a while to truly unlock it. That's something you're born with.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was it's that thing, man. It was like with Stone Cold, it was like the perfect storm of everything that only happens once.
He found the character, he was able to unlock it.
And the packaging, the music, everything worked absolutely perfect.
Pitch perfect.
And to this day, like, that crowd just explodes. More so than when, I mean, the initial beat, that glass breaking of the just gets everybody every time. Mm-hmm. It's Pavlovian at this point. Mm-hmm. Nothing does that. Even Hogan.
The closest is The Rock.
Yeah.
When You Smell What The Rock Is Cooking comes over the PA.
That's a big one, too.
Kick into his theme.
That's a big one,
That's
too.
That's a pretty huge pop, too.
But people love that Stone Cold, man. So yeah, he kind
of bookended the show.
Yeah, he did. That's a good word for it. He bookended the show. And I thought that man, there were some really terrific matches on last night. One thing, look, I don't want to start off on what could be considered maybe a down note, but like, it is striking to see just how popular Stone Cold is versus how they sort of treat everybody else.
Well, the Cage Side Seats last night had a write-up saying that same thing. That's the one thing that having Stone Cold on the show so prominently really puts spotlight on the fact that there's no one even approaching Stone Cold in the current roster.
And there hasn't been. Like, Cena was as popular as they get since then.
Yeah.
But even with John Cena, it was never like that.
No.
So yes, it does put a spotlight on that. It puts everybody under a microscope. And when he's in the same ring with Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman, and they're acting kind of nerdy around him.
Well, they're acting like fans.
Like, Braun holds out his hand for a handshake, and then Stone Cold, like, sort of, disses him on that. And then Braun's like, look, I used to watch you growing up. I don't want to hear a monster talk about when he was young watching Stone Cold Steve Austin. I don't need to hear that
either.
I kind of expect it from Seth Rollins at this point. But Braun Strowman should not be doing that.
No.
That being said, I thought that AJ Styles sort of made that opening segment. I thought he was really good.
Oh, he was good. The trash talk he was doing. He's like... just like my theme song says, Stone Cold, I don't want none.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But then he proceeds to talk all sorts of trash.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I thought that was really good.
So, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Late last week, we saw, I think it was from the newsletter maybe, that they're starting to loosen up on scripted promos.
Yeah.
AJ last night sounded like it wasn't a scripted promo.
Right, yeah.
It sounded very loose, believable,
yeah,
authentic.
Yeah, totally.
So hopefully just bullet points.
Yeah, the whole the show last night, and the show generally speaking has been inching towards the feeling that they are being given a bit more freedom and they're a bit looser with stuff. People are being tasked with going out there and entertaining people as opposed to going in there and trying to fit in whatever square, or whatever fit in the square peg in a round hole that Vince McMahon wants them to do. I mean, even in the matches last night, that AJ, I mean, look, he had AJ Styles and Cedric Alexander in a match. AJ still selling that stunner, by the way, which is great.
That was good.
That was a really fun match. I thought the Horsewoman match just had that crowd eating a lot.
Yeah, it was fun.
That was great. I thought that was awesome. Rey Mysterio versus Grand Metalik wasn't quite the barn burner I figured it'd be.
I kind of felt like it was a bit abridged.
Yeah,
made it a little bit longer and just really let them do what they can do.
And then, man, the crowd being you hear that crowd popping for Corbin?
Yeah, man. It was dueling Baron Corbin sucks.
We
chance.
want Corbin sucks. And I thought that was a really, really fun match.
Yeah.
So I thought there was a lot to like last night. Let me head over to the community poll because as of last night when I checked
48%.
Is it still at 48%? Because that's what it was last night.
Yeah, I just went over there. 48% yay, 5% nay, 15% in between.
Nay.
22% don't plan to watch, and 11% plan to watch later.
Only 5% was nay.
Nay.
And in between 15%. So, yeah, that's 50, 60. Yeah, over 60% was either yay or in between.
Yeah, a generally positive.
Kind of surprising that the don't
towards
plan to watch is as high as it is, at 22%. Like, we've seen that recently as low as, like, under 20%.
Yeah. It
mean,
always
it's
kind
not
of floats
often.
in the high teens, though, I feel like.
Yeah.
Let's see. What was it last week? Oh, last week was 22%.
Same thing? Okay.
Yeah.
Check the week, because I remember there was I was 25.
That's SmackDown.
Oh, SmackDown.
26 the week prior.
Oh, okay. All right. So
May 22 is more or less the floor. That's 21.
21.
21 for Raw. So, yeah. 20.
Maybe it hasn't been under 20 then. 20.
What, SmackDown?
Oh,
Yeah.
SmackDown again. Really? 18. Okay.
18.
So that was the 1 week I was thinking of right there.
That was about a month
18%.
ago.
Yeah. So yeah.
Here, let's get some super chats in, then we'll start with the beat by beat,
Sounds
segment by
like
segment
good.
breakdown. Happy Anderson here says, had to drop my Patreon status, but here's $2. Thank you.
Well, thanks so much.
Epicomondo, your weekly $20. Also, greetings from the hospital. I drank too much last night.
You're literally at the hospital.
Be safe, Epico.
That's not good, man.
Be safe.
But yeah, take care of yourself.
Luis Felipe de Castro Reese, going to SmackDown tonight. What are you guys looking forward to the most? Fiend attacking Undertaker.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in our SmackDown preview later on in the show.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Raw kicked off, like we already mentioned, with the glass breaking. He comes out here, and we get some Stone Cold reminiscing. I saw one thing, and I don't know who sourced it, but Stone Cold apparently was not... They just gave him a mic and said, "Do what you."
That's what they said at Robert Union.
That's the smart thing to do.
Yeah. With Stone Cold, that's what you do.
So he goes out there and he talks about some memories from Madison Square Garden. I hit Vince McMahon with his very first stunner right here in Madison Square Garden.
He had a match against
Undertaker.
That at SummerSlam. The other one where someone hit him with a chin and knocked him out.
God.
Oh, that was the Undertaker one.
Yeah.
That was the Undertaker
Yeah.
one. There's another match he mentioned too. Oh, the Bret Hart one at Survivor
Oh,
Series.
Bret Hart. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he said, I'm not supposed to come out here with my neck the way it is, but I did anyways.
Yeah. What?
The crowd was wetting him at first, but at a certain point, they just wanted to hear the darn stories, so they stopped.
They stopped.
That was nice. It was a good crowd last night.
It was.
Madison Square Garden.
And he goes,
crowd.
all right, well, we haven't been able to get this contract signed, so let's get it done. Out comes Braun first, then Seth, and they both more or less say, hey, we're going to be good partners. We're not going to go out of our way to screw each other out of these tag team titles. We're in it for this team because we're champions, essentially.
Yeah.
That being said, Seth says, I'm winning Universal Championship because I'm the best wrestler in the world. Braun says, no, you're going to get these hands. I'm going to be Universal Champion.
Did you have the volume up on that? What would you make of the crowd? When Seth he was like, because I've said before, I'll say it again, I'm the best wrestler on this planet.
There was a bit of rumbling.
There was some rumbling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, oh, whoa. Okay, yeah, maybe. Hold on a second.
I thought I heard some people trying to start a CM Punk chant.
Yeah, some did. I think it's just when you just mentioned the planet, when you say the world, maybe that just spurs.
You say best in the world.
Say the words best and world sort of around the same. By the way, it's about 8 seconds. of that movie that CM Punk is in, the girl on the third floor.
Can't wait, can you?
Oh my! It had a freaking light socket with what appeared to be human seed spilling out of it.
It's gross.
And he looked just in that one moment. That dude should be acting. Phil Brooks should be a straight up actor.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was good stuff.
Interesting.
I'm looking forward to that movie.
So they signed the contract, and Stone Cold's like, there it is, contract signed. OC to the ramp. And AJ has the mic, and he says, just like my theme song says, Stone Cold, I don't want none.
I don't want none.
But then he called him an old fart.
Yeah.
Called him an asshole.
Yeah, that was the bet. I don't know if you can tell this AJ Styles, but this crowd here at Madison Square Garden's calling you an asshole.
You got 18,000 people here calling you an asshole.
And then AJ Styles says, maybe you're the asshole. I'm like, whoa.
They let him cuss. They let Austin do the middle fingers.
Yeah. Light profanity on the USA Network. That was great. I loved it.
Yeah, AJ says Stone Cold, stay out of our business, essentially.
Is that actually considered light profanity? Do we have to go to the next level?
A-hole?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is that okay? Are we good with light profanity?
I don't think it's necessarily the particular word. It's the amount of them.
Oh.
Light soda.
So that's it.
Light on sugar.
So we had a light on a-holes.
Yes.
Right.
So if we just go say a-hole for 5 minutes straight, we might run into potential issues.
Okay. Don't go.
And also, we're past the beginning of the video, so we should be all right.
Don't go hard on a-hole. Go light on a-hole.
Go light on a-hole.
Gotcha.
Yes. So then AJ gets in the ring. He starts talking a bunch of trash, calls him an a-hole, old fart. Mm-hmm. And then Austin very calmly just starts moving the table towards the corner of the ring.
What are you doing? And AJ has this great worried look on his face. Mm-hmm. Steve, what are you doing, Steve? What are you doing? AJ. I forget what he said.
He says... It's like, I don't know where you've been, but I know where you're going.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
Like that. And then Braun and Seth go after him. Gallows and Anderson are tossed from the ring. Braun chases them off, lays them out ringside. Seth goes for a stomp on AJ. AJ avoids it, tosses Seth from the ring, and then Stone Cold is looming behind him. Mm-hmm. And the crowd knows what's happening.
Oh, yeah.
AJ's really milking the moment.
He's milking it. He does a little dance.
Talking trash to
turns
Seth.
Around, gets the middle fingers, and the stunner. And he sold it like a champ, man. They all know you sell the crap out of a Stone Cold stunner for sure.
The bar is pretty high for selling the stunners, and I feel like everybody wants to be in the conversation up there with The Rock and Scott Hall. For
absolutely.
Best people to sell, or the best sellers of the stunner.
They take pride in that stuff, man.
Heck yeah, man.
Anyways, so after that, while he was still selling the stunner, we got a match between AJ Styles and Cedric Alexander.
Mm-hmm. And Cedric, because AJ was still selling the stunner, had the advantage early. For a fairly protracted amount of time. I was kind of thinking maybe they have the Cedric match going on and have him pick up a win with AJ still selling the stunner. AJ started working over Cedric's bad arm he hurt last week. Mm-hmm. He got the advantage for a good while until Cedric hits a Michinoku driver, gets a 2 count.
It's a beautiful Michinoku driver.
It's
really
so quick
is.
too.
It is,
especially when he does it essentially with one arm.
Yeah.
And then he's on the apron. He's getting ready for a springboard lariat. Out come the OC. They attack him, lay him out. Ref calls for the bell. Cedric wins via DQ. War Raiders come down the ring to make the save.
It's about time. They're like, oh yeah, that's right. We're supposed to be in a feud with these guys.
That's right. We set this up a couple weeks back.
Let's get into that.
Let's actually do something with it.
Yeah.
After that, brief Sasha and Bailey promo.
Mm-hmm. Somebody mentioned, who was this? Jonathan mentioned that apparently The Rock, did you see this? Tweeted about AJ's
selling abilities, yeah.
Oh, what did he say? I didn't see that.
Essentially a good job.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Let's see here. He tweets a lot, or his personal assistant does anyways.
So Sasha and Bailey talking about how they're still friends. Charlotte and Becky can't stand each other.
Yes.
And so they cut to a shot in the locker room of Charlotte and Becky's like getting ready, and she has absolute death stare on her face. She's just shooting eye lasers basically at Charlotte.
Yeah,
it was pretty funny. It's like she knows it's funny,
yeah,
so it makes it funnier.
I know. It was good.
There was an absolute scowl on her face.
This is what The Rock said.
Fantastic.
Yeah, let's see here.
Hey, AJ, you hear?
You hear him talking to you, hillbilly boy. Little inside attitude era joke. Real talk, that stunner back bump flip into a scissor cell was a thing of beauty. Way to bring the house down, boys. I love that The Rock always shouts out that WWE stuff. Just Rock sitting around. telling his personal assistant to cut him some highlights together from Raw.
I know. Between his workout at 3 in the morning when he has to show up at set at 5.
Yeah, I don't know how he does that.
I don't know how he does it either. After that, Bray doing a little brief promo hyping a new episode of Firefly Funhouse later tonight.
You're our friend.
After that, it's Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month.
Yes, that's correct.
So they ran a package about that. Roman Reigns comes out and talks about Connor's cure, brings out some pediatric cancer patients.
Well, yeah, and he references how when he came out to announce that his leukemia was in remission, that he had decided at that point that there are bigger priorities in life than just championships and what goes on in the ring.
Yeah.
And then he wanted to use his platform to raise awareness for that kind of stuff.
Yes. And he mentions that the kids that he brought out last night he had met prior. Mm-hmm. And he said, well, rather than me come to them, let's bring them here.
Yeah.
He brought them out. They were introduced on the stage in their wrestling gear.
Mm-hmm. Their personas. Yeah.
Yep.
It was a very nice moment.
It was
I love
cool
when they do stuff like that.
Same here.
After that, we had Becky and Charlotte versus Sasha and Bayley.
Kind of surprised this is just used to kick off the second hour. Thought this could have been main event material here.
So this totally could have been the main event. I understand they had Stone Cold. They wanted to use him for that main event 10-man tag match. Mm-hmm. I'm totally fine with that. This was so much fun.
It was fun, especially before the bell rings, they just brawl all over the place.
Yeah.
Throwing each other around ringside.
Oh, it was great. I
cool.
loved it. And the crowd was into this big time. It's funny because I saw some people nitpicking this match a little bit on Twitter. And here's the thing. It doesn't really it doesn't really matter sitting at home really necessarily what you think about the match. If you can't tell that the crowd is really into it, because this totally was, I'm not going to say an audition, but it could be an audition for the Mania main event.
Well, here's another thing too is you don't want to do everything you would do in a huge match.
No.
For a Raw match, you want to hold some stuff back.
Right. But if you want to nitpick stuff like, for example, Charlotte's moonsault was a little bit off. The boot was a couple inches off. And I saw this and I'm like, okay, you're just like nitpicking and nitpicking.
Yeah.
Like people will just do that.
Yeah. I mean, the boot thing could just be the wrong camera angle at the wrong time.
And in fact, Samoa Joe gave a boot to, I think, Baron Corbin later on in the night. That was like 3 inches off. Didn't hear a peep on that one. And I wonder why. Larson. Anyways, the crowd was firmly into this. Yeah. And in the end, that's the only thing that matters.
If they're involved in the story being told in the ring, that's the most important thing.
They're going to keep that up.
Yep. So match gets going after commercial break. At one point, Sasha and Bayley, they're double teaming Becky. This is actually before the commercial break. Sorry. Sasha and Bayley are in the ring double teaming Becky. Charlotte runs in with a chair. During commercial break, ref finally separates everybody. Match actually begins after commercial. And it was pretty fun. There's this one moment where Sasha puts Charlotte in a bank statement. Charlotte reverses that into a figure eight. Bayley tries to break up the figure eight. However, she's intercepted by Becky, who tries to put disarmor on her. But Bayley tosses Becky into Charlotte to break up the pin. Actually a pretty intricate little bit.
It was, and it freaked me out too because she, when Charlotte is doing her thing and her arms are back like this, and Becky slid into the arm, and Charlotte immediately grabbed her elbow. I was like, God, that looked ugly.
Dislocated elbow.
But she was fine.
Yeah. Later on, Bayley goes for a Bayley to belly. Becky tries to reverse it into a disarm her. Sasha comes up behind her and drops her with a backstabber, and then Charlotte lays out Sasha with a boot, huge boot. And then Becky hits a leg drop on Bayley. Charlotte follows it with a moonsault. Yeah, she overshot it a little bit. She actually almost landed on her feet and then just fell. Whatever.
Yeah.
Sasha breaks up the pin. So Becky and Sasha are brawling ringside. Becky puts her in a disarm her out there. Bayley comes out and I believe kicks her, picks her up, hits a Bayley to belly on Becky into the barricade.
Yeah.
And then follows with a pretty awesome German suplex on Charlotte. She's back in the. She puts Charlotte back in the ring. Goes for the top rope elbow. Charlotte gets her knees up. Bayley starts selling the arm. At that point, Sasha's on the apron. She starts kind of arguing, talking trash to Charlotte. Bayley comes from behind Charlotte, tries to roll her up. However, Charlotte kicks out, hits natural selection to get the win.
Yeah.
Thus guaranteeing that Bayley retains it at the Clash of Champions this weekend.
So from what I saw, yeah, we'll see what they do on SmackDown tonight, if anything. But that's totally going to happen. What I saw, the match itself was 17 minutes, but the amount of time, the entirety of the segment was like 28 minutes. Totally deserved it. Had big fight feel.
Totally.
And I can't wait to see. I really hope that Paul Heyman, Triple H, Stephanie, whoever has a roadmap from here to Mania.
That'd be nice.
Even if they decide for whatever reason down the stretch that, hey, maybe it's not getting enough heat. It's not going to be the actual main event. Maybe something else, usurps that.
But at least have that match.
I want to have the map. I want there to be a long-term road with twists and turns. Right now, you got Sasha and Bayley on the same page. I want to see them go at it.
Yeah, that's not going to last.
Right, exactly.
Mania.
And I want everybody to have their motivations play out in a logical way with some twists and turns that we don't see coming.
Exactly.
That's what I want, man.
That'd be nice. After that, the OC were being interviewed backstage. AJ says the OC runs this place. And then Rudolph come up, and they're like, hey, we're down to help you out, guys. Mm-hmm. And they shake hands. Partnership is forged, if even just for one night.
Bob Roode seems, you could just, the look on his face, it doesn't look dead. And I like that.
He's actually doing something.
It makes me so happy.
Yeah, man.
And I love that commentary. Like Corey Graves is like, some of Bob Roode's best years were as a tag team, in a really good tag team. I love that they reference that stuff.
I know, beer money.
What's that?
Said beer money.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't say beer money, though.
Can't say that.
No. After that, Rey Mysterio taking on Grand Metalik.
Ooh.
Man, Grand Metalik's like shoulder pad thing he had with all the pictures of all the masks on there, that was incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty rad.
Incredible.
It's pretty cool stuff. Yeah.
Both of them had awesome ring gear last night.
Yeah.
Could have used another, 3 to 6 minutes for this match, though. It felt like an abridged version of what they could do, both in terms of length and both in terms of what they executed in the ring.
I think to the detriment of the match. I think so. I think that, there are certain guys, I mentioned this before, I thought this would be a huge spotlight moment for Grand Metalik, and even commentary was really selling it that way. They were really selling up Grand Metalik, and it wasn't, and this is, I think I've been so spoiled by the likes of Cedric, Ali, Buddy Murphy, Andrade, and their matches, we've seen such amazing spotlight matches.
Yeah.
Matches that the next day you're going to hear something like, boy, Vince McMahon was really paying attention, because then you see a bunch more of them.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like this lived up to that special moment type match.
Yeah.
That was just me. There was one.
No, I agree.
There was one moment when he went flying over the top.
No, that tope type thing.
Tope,
picture in picture, so you didn't get to see the full.
Well, it's funny because it happened as the picture. So it wasn't even. I mean, it was like picture in picture, but it started to happen as that happened.
I know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But I'll take a Grand Metalik versus Rey Mysterio match any day of the week. Hopefully, they'll be given another chance.
It's just another instance where there's a match with at least one 205 Live competitor in it on Raw or SmackDown, and you think to yourself, man, this match would have been twice as long. Better if it were on 205
You're totally.
Live
It was
instead.
like a pay-per-view 205 match. You're right. You're totally right.
So early on, Ray sends Metalik outside with a Hurricane Rana. He goes for that slide thing he does outside the ring, which is always really cool. Grand Metalik evades, hits him with a super kick, and as you mentioned, got back in the ring, did the tope deal. That was picture in picture. And later on, he hits a top rope Rana on Ray. This is a great spot where Metalik picks up Ray for a power bomb. Ray reverses it until like a destroyer bomb, sunset power bomb type deal. Only gets a 2, and then right after that, Ray hits a 619 frog splash, gets the win. Mm-hmm. It was fun. Just felt like they could have done more.
It definitely wasn't the sort of wow thing that I was really hoping it was going to be. Mm-hmm. But hopefully, I don't know. Maybe there was enough there that maybe this is a little tryout, and Vince will think, hey, I want to see what they can do with 20 minutes. That's what I hope. But I don't know.
One could hope.
I don't know.
Maybe on SmackDown we'll get 20 minutes. After that, we have Seth, Braun, and Cedric talking backstage. MOS, no sound.
Yeah.
And shortly after that, it was announced we're getting a 10-man tag match main event.
That's cool.
OC, Rudolph taking on Viking Raiders.
Did you notice during I think it was probably it had to have been the tag match, that Michael Cole had mentioned that Bob Roode and Dolph Ziggler were calling themselves the Vultures
He said
of the roster?
They said they were the Vultures of the tag team division.
Of the tag team division? Do you think that's a hint as to if are they going to call themselves Vultures? And do you like that name if that happens to be the case? You have a Ming the Merciless-esque single eyebrow sticking way up. I get the same thing. Oh, there you go. You got it back down. It was kind of very villainous.
If that's been their name, they need to repackage themselves.
Sure. Yeah.
Like if they're the Vultures.
Get rid of the Glorious thing.
Yeah, like Bob Roode's got to lose the robe.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Unless it's made out of like buzzard feathers or something like that.
How anthropomorphic do you want them to get?
I want them to look
this?
like Skeksis pretty much from Dark Crystal. They come out with like Skeksis masks on.
Right.
That would do it.
That could make, you can make like, if you don't do that, you can make a cool logo with vultures on it. That could be fun. That could be cool.
Yeah. But when I heard that, I thought of that band, the not Queens of the Stone Age band that Josh Holmes started. Them Crooked Vultures.
Oh, yeah.
I heard that. I was like, oh. For some reason, I thought of that. I don't know.
Wait, wasn't the name of an album? Wasn't that the name of the album?
It was a band, too. It was a side project.
He also did a side project called that?
No, the album was called the same as the name of the band. It was a self-titled album, I believe.
Okay, all right. Who else was in that band?
I think John Paul Jones, Led Zeppelin was involved in that.
That sounds vaguely familiar.
Mark Lanigan was too.
He loves Mark Lanigan. Mark Lanigan's great.
He is great.
Yeah, I always prop when I hear his voice on a Queens of the Stone Age album. Anyways, after that we had a Street Profits promo.
It was just Josh Homme, John Paul Jones, and Dave Grohl. That's right.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it sounds very familiar. I don't know if I listened to it at all, though.
I did. Just don't recall much about it.
Where can
Mark Lanigan wasn't involved. Interesting. I thought he was.
Yeah, but he's been in a bunch of the Queens of Stone Age stuff.
They did the Josh Homme and Mark Lanigan did Parts Unknown theme together for the Anthony Bourdain show.
Yeah, Anthony Bourdain was a big Lanigan fan. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think he said like he ended up getting like a house in Seattle or something to be closer to Mark Lanigan.
That's interesting.
Anyways,
after that, King of the Ring semifinal bout, triple threat: Samoa Joe versus Baron Corbin versus Ricochet.
Yeah,
hell of a match, man.
This I thought, I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that there were like a ton of other really good matches on the card, this could have been easily a show stealer. This was so much fun.
Yeah,
this was a blast. And dude, like I said earlier, I think that like you were an early prognosticator of this.
I said the most fun King of the Ring would be Baron Corbin.
I'm with you on it now, man.
You poo-pooed me so much.
Hey, you know what? I am not afraid to admit that I was wrong.
That's good.
I'm not afraid to do that.
You're wildly wrong on this.
Maybe you should learn from me.
Hey, I'll know when I'm wrong.
So,
I'm wrong here, though.
No, you weren't. Do you think it's possible, man? Do you think it's possible? Is it likely? Is it going to happen?
We're going to get Baron Corbin versus Chad Gable in the finals.
So are they building up Corbin to be the most obnoxious possible heel to face Chad Gable, and Gable's going to go over? Or are they going to go all the way with Corbin?
I feel like Gable's going to go over now.
Me too. But I do feel that Corbin wasn't originally going to be in the finals. I honestly think that he has been so darn good, so over the top good during this tournament. And maybe it was always supposed to be him. I don't know. But it wouldn't surprise me if they had somebody else in mind, like a Samoa Joe or something. If they had somebody else in mind and Baron proved his case during the course of the tournament.
I mean, if you're going to, because we heard going into this tournament that they brought the tournament back to put over one wrestler, to in the end put over one particular person. Now, if that person's Chad Gable, that was always a plan, which going into it, you think that's kind of surprising.
That's very surprising.
But then after the response he got in that match against Andrade last week, you could see the star potential in Chad Gable.
Even going back, and it would, I guess it would kind of surprise me if Vince even saw this, but the 205 matches he's had, and it's like, man, this kid can do a lot.
Oh, he's really good.
Yeah.
So if you want Chad Gable to go over, he is pretty much, he's in relation to most other people on the roster, he's undersized.
Sure.
They really point that out.
Mm-hmm.
Who better to go against than probably the best traditional heel you have on the roster, plus a guy who's probably a foot taller than him.
I wonder if it might be a circumstance thing. Maybe Drew was supposed to go to the finals, and then he had that injury because he just had surgery for something. Because Drew versus Gable, like if you really want to play up the giant versus the smaller guy, then I think Drew. I mean, look, Baron is as good a choice as any, but Drew brings that additional menace factor, the like scary factor that Baron kind of doesn't have because he's kind of goofy. He is goofy, but maybe they wanted to roll with trolling bully, and that's sort of Baron also.
I mean, it's pretty obvious that Vince really likes Baron, so I wouldn't be surprised if he was in the mix all along.
Yeah. But he would, man. It also wouldn't surprise me if Baron wins this thing. Either way, it wouldn't surprise me
either.
I've been wrong every single step of the way, so I'm just gonna not even.
I mean, I kind of want Baron to win just to see how fun he is as King of the Ring. Because it'd be really obnoxious.
He would be really good.
But it was kind of surprising to as a match starter that you get dueling Baron Corbin chants. Baron Corbin, Corbin sucks.
This was the turning point. I'm telling you, man. And maybe we're not gonna get it again because it's a New York crowd. Maybe a Chicago crowd will be into it. I don't know, but or a Philly crowd. But I think the appreciation of the work is simply there now. I think it's there, and I think that the crowd seeing it on TV, I think a lot of people's eyes are going to be open to, oh man, yeah, I can see the appreciation.
Maybe. Ricochet has the upper hand early. He's clearing the ring left and right until the ringside area. Ricochet is going for a Hurricane Run attempt off the apron. Baron catches him and then does like a reverse power bomb into the ring post. Joe then follows that up, hitting a suicide dive on Baron Corbin. Later on back in the ring, there's a great spot where Baron hits a power bomb, kind of flips Ricochet over, deep six. Mm-hmm. Joe pulls him out of the ring during the pin and puts him right in the clutch.
That was awesome. That was a great moment. That deep six was like, he had how many rotations?
A lot.
Like a ton,
it was like Cesaro doing the swing almost.
It was great.
So Baron's in the clutch. Joe's got the grapevine around the body on. Baron's fading. Ricochet breaks it up with a shooting star press off the apron, which you didn't have to do. He'll let Baron pass out, and then it's a one-on-one match at that point.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it's fun, like playing 2K, doing that kind of stuff.
I know. Sometimes you want a cool spot. It was a cool spot. So Joe's prone for a 630. He evades it, puts the clutch on Ricochet. Ricochet escapes. He hits a recoil, climbs to the top, hits a 630. It's about to go for the pin. He's pulled out of the ring by Baron, who then throws him into the crowd. Baron hustles in the ring, covers Joe to get the win for himself.
Yep.
Opportunistic win.
Oh, yeah. Big time. Yeah. It was really good stuff. I liked it. After that, we had a rematch, right? These two went at it last week.
Yeah.
Lacey Evans versus Natalya.
Yeah, Lacey Evans scored the win last week. Not so much luck this time around. She tapped out to the sharpshooter, but these two have really good chemistry.
They have really good chemistry, and Lacey Evans it's kind of funny because commentary was really playing up because Corey Graves obviously is a big Lacey Evans fan. And she had the upper hand the vast majority of this, and just at the very end, she got locked in that sharpshooter and ended up tapping out.
Tapped out.
But commentary was doing a good job here, and this is a pretty decent match.
Yeah, this is a good like they should have had Lacey Evans involved in these type of programs when she got called up rather than putting her right to the title scene.
Completely, yeah.
Because working with Natalya is going to make Lacey Evans a better wrestler.
For sure.
And then after several feuds where she's improved her skills, and then you put her into a title program. Next, this was fun. They showed some stuff that happened before Raw went on the air with former New York Knick Enos Kanter comes out, talks to the crowd. R-Truth comes down. He gets rolled up. So Enos is now the 24/7 champion. He unzips his bright blue, his Knicks blue jogging suit, or his jacket underneath Celtics jersey. He's a Celtic now.
What a heel turn!
Tons of heat. Anyways,
R-Truth. Okay, well, hold on a second. So I don't really follow. Like I know who Enos Kanter is and everything. But was it like common knowledge that he was a Boston Celtic?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Did he just sign a new deal or something?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, all right. That's great.
So Truth rolls him up. He gets his title back, but it's a funny little bit.
I loved it. I thought it was awesome.
Pretty great.
I think because that aired. I think that was shot during the main event taping.
Oh yeah, they said it was before Raw.
Yeah. Because I think there was the main event.
We saw with the main event.
The recap, and I think that happened during the taping for main event. So that's good. After that, we had Firefly Funhouse. And we were presented, Larson, with a new mystery.
We were.
First off, everybody was chanting "Stranger Danger" because there was a stranger in the house, and that was Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Cold. And then Bray says, Rattlesnake's going to do what a rattlesnake's got. You don't blame a rattlesnake for being a rattlesnake, essentially. Right. So he's pretty much saying, I'm not worried about them. Everybody else I've attacked in the past taking something from me. Mm-hmm. You can't blame a rattlesnake for being a rattlesnake.
Yeah.
And then Abby is saying, my clock's broken. It's been stuck on 3:16 ever since the stranger showed up. Mm-hmm. And Bray says, oh, let me fix that. He grabs a hammer, hits the clock a few times, and the time changes to 11:19.
Yeah.
And he goes, there you go. Clock is fixed now.
Yeah.
And so everybody's wondering, what is 11:19?
So the most obvious thing is, go ahead.
It was the day
November 19th
of 91 or 90 when The Undertaker made his debut.
Right. Undertaker is scheduled to be at SmackDown tonight.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, are we going to get The Fiend confronting Undertaker? He also said, Bray also said, we'll see you in hell. Obviously, Hell in a Cell is coming.
And he did reference Seth and Braun as well.
Right, yeah. So, I don't know, man. I kind of hope that I think they could effectively make his Universal Championship aspirations, if you will, maybe a red herring for bigger fish. Hey, I've got bigger fish than your Universal Championship. Mm-hmm. I have a beef to settle with The Undertaker. Yeah. Because, of course, Bray Wyatt lost to The Undertaker.
Yeah, Mania 31, yeah.
Pretty high-profile match there. Here in the Discord, some friendos were also providing some other speculation as to what 11:19 could mean. Let's see here. Big Meat Hafty.
Oh, yeah, World Toilet Day. I've heard that, too.
November 19th is World Toilet Day. So maybe he's going to drop some beef. That's the
extent of it.
That's pretty much it.
That's the extent
pretty
of it.
much
So it's either the referencing Undertaker's debut or World Toilet Day.
It's one or the other. Can't
one
be
or the
both.
other.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't. Corey Graves compared Enos Cantor to Giant Gonzalez.
Oh, I missed that.
Kind of looks like him.
That's funny. Then finally, we got our main event: Seth, Braun, Cedric, and the Viking Raiders taking on Rudolph and the OC. Mm-hmm. Fun match.
This was fun. Sorry, some people are also saying it was 11:19 was the actual time in the arena at the moment. That's not true.
No.
That can't be true.
It can't be because the show ends at 11.
Right.
Yeah. Fun match early on to get some storylines brewing into Clash. Braun hits a power slam on Carl Anderson. But then Bob Roode pushes Seth into Braun to break a pin. Seth's like, hey, I was pushed into you. Don't be mad at me. Braun's like, what are you doing?
You know, I hate when people get mad about that because it's like, clearly, it's like, I know you weren't paying attention, but take my word for it.
I know.
I'm not just going to stumble into you for no reason.
I know.
I was pushed.
Yeah, I know. Like, what does it benefit me to run into my tag team partner, even if there's some contentious
simmering
feelings
tension
between us?
But come on now.
It doesn't benefit me whatsoever.
Doesn't make any sense.
I really like this match. There's one thing I wish that hadn't happened. It's very small.
Okay.
So for a vast majority of it, Cedric was isolated, getting beaten up. Mm-hmm. And before the match even started, he wanted AJ.
Yeah.
He wanted to rip him apart.
Yeah.
And so Cedric got beat down a little bit. AJ tagged in, kicked him some in the corner. I wish AJ had tagged out at that point because later I didn't want Cedric getting his hands on AJ till the finish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But he had like this STO through the ropes that he got in like halfway through the match.
Yeah.
Just wish they hadn't done that.
Yeah,
it's a small thing.
Might be more special if it's
then he gets
held
the hot
up,
tag or gets tagged in towards the end, makes a beeline for AJ, avoids the phenomenal form, and hits the lumbar check.
Because that's a good little like sub story for him. That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. Because like if AJ tags out right there and then Cedric is getting beaten up, and then you have the dual motivation for Cedric to not only get that tag so he can not get beat up anymore. But like if he's in the corner, he could try taking swings at AJ.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Like his MO of being in that ring is not necessarily to win as much as to get his hands on AJ Styles.
Yeah.
And beat the heck out of him.
Yeah.
Which they did 90% of the time. It was just I just wish that he hadn't gotten any offense on AJ until the finish. But that's a minor thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Braun goes for a power slam on AJ. AJ escapes, pushes Braun to the ring post. This is like a guaranteed spot in any Braun matches. He's getting tossed in the ring post.
Yeah, pretty much.
Then Hansen comes in. Viking Raiders both come in. Ray Rowe does some stuff. Hansen gets tagged in. Everybody's kind of on the outside. He jumps off the top rope onto everybody else hanging around ringside. Legal men now are Cedric and AJ. AJ goes for a phenomenal form. Cedric avoids it, hits a lumbar check, To get the win. Hell of a sell by AJ on that, too.
Yeah, no, it was great, man. Another step towards, man, it's funny because literally if the ref had counted 4 on the 4, the glass would have broken then.
Yeah, I know.
Because immediately, and I think they were just pressed for time, he's got like 5 guys he's got to hand beers to now. Stone Cold comes running down to celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
They toss him the beers. He tosses them to everybody. Ray Rowe, of course, is straight edge. So he opens his beer. He starts pouring on himself and everywhere, but nowhere close to his mouth.
Yeah.
Everybody else is like down in theirs, but they're all like, freaking clean and stuff. So like they're not really trying to have too much beer. And yeah, it was a great moment. Apparently after cameras stopped rolling, AJ ate another stunner after Stone Cold was trying to convince him that, no, you're good.
Wait, Cedric got a new theme? People are saying that Cedric got a new theme.
I did not notice that.
I didn't notice that either.
We'll have to go back and watch it and check it out. That's sad. I like his theme.
Yeah, it's all right.
I'm used to it.
Yeah.
Like whenever I hear it, I know I'm about to get a good man. In the dogs, I have a dog. Huh. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, it would have been nice. I agree. It would have been nice to have Cedric celebrate that moment, a bit more of a spotlight. But my God,
I guess if you're getting handed beers by Stone Cold, that's a pretty decent rub to be
when you're dropping a lumbar check on AJ Styles, and I mean Cedric has had a couple spotlight moments over the past couple months, more than a few, and it's obvious that they really like the guy, and that's awesome because before Heyman came in, he was part of the 24/7, mad world stuff, and now he's
Alex C says people are joking about Stone Cold's theme being Cedric's.
Oh, y'all are funny. That's good. Yeah. He torch passed his theme song to Cedric Alexander. Had a dream, I had a dog.
Let's do some SmackDown previewing, Steve.
All right, sounds good.
First entry, The Undertaker returns to SmackDown Live. The bell tolls for The Undertaker's first ever SmackDown Live appearance in Madison Square Garden. Really? Undertaker was on SmackDown forever. Never once was at Madison Square Garden. Interesting.
If preview says it must be true.
I guess so. No way they would kayfabe history. The Phenom has made plenty of memories before at MSG, including his matchup against Mankind at Survivor Series 96, his WWE Championship clash with Stone Cold Steve Austin at SummerSlam 98, and his fraternal face-off with Kane at WrestleMania 20. What will happen when the dead man rises again at the world's most famous arena during SmackDown Live?
Hopefully he'll face the Fiend.
Yes.
Next, will Roman Reigns pay back Eric Rowan for last week's surprise attack? Last Tuesday on SmackDown Live, Daniel Bryan was still looking for an apology from Roman Reigns for accusing him of orchestrating the heinous attacks on Big Dog, as well as the previous week's spear. In the end, Eric Rowan was the one seeking closure as he blindsided both superstars with a vicious assault.
Vicious.
After revealing he was the man behind the attacks on Roman Reigns,
Didn't have to do that.
Rowan was intent on proving he's his own man and went about it by slamming Bryan through a table and giving Reigns a face full of steel steps. Will the Big Dog return the favor to his Clash of Champions opponent, or will Rowan continue taking pride in his vengeful attacks? I want to see Eric Rowan join a motorcycle gang filled with a bunch of Eric Rowan NWO guys.
That'd be good.
I want NWO Eric Rowan's all in a motorcycle gang because I feel like maybe that was where the original Eric Bischoff storyline was headed, Larson.
Yeah.
They're like, wait a second.
Rowan's of Anarchy.
Perfect. ROA, man.
Next, Chad Gable looks to continue impressive King of the Ring run against Elias. Shelton Benjamin and Andrade both found out the hard way what happens when an opponent underestimates Chad Gable. In last week's King of the Ring quarterfinals, Gable used an impressive roll-up to top Andrade, and Elias overcame Ali's attacks on his guitar arm to move on. The biggest acquisition in SmackDown history now awaits the underdog Gable in the semifinals, but Gable has stood tall against every challenge in the King of the Ring tournament thus far. Can he do it once more against Elias? Will Elias crush his King of the Ring dreams once and for all? Find out during the King of the Ring semifinals tonight. SmackDown 8/7 Central. I just had an idea. What if Elias wins this, and then Kevin Owens takes him out of the match, inserts himself into it, and then wins?
They would have to find a decent, a semi-logical way for him to insert himself in the match.
I'm just thinking they might do that to parallel what Shane did, the Best in the World tournament.
Oh man, I think Gable's got all this freaking.
Probably
That'd be cool. I just think that Gable's got this great momentum, and Gable versus Baron Corbin would be a terrific.
It would be fun.
But I don't know. I have been wrong about everything, so anything goes. I don't know. Maybe Stone Cold will insert himself in the match.
Could be.
Kofi Kingston's journey brings him back to Madison Square Garden. WWE Champion Kofi Kingston is returning to where the spark was first lit when SmackDown Live emanates from Madison Square Garden this Tuesday night. It will also mark Kingston's return to the location that put him on the map in a truly full circle moment. Kofi's incredible journey will bring him back to MSG, where he memorably smashed Randy Orton through a table in 2009, as he now once again engages in an ongoing battle with Le Viper. What will Kingston's return to the world's most famous arena bring? And how will the WWE Champion respond to Apex Predator's recent attacks on New Day 5 nights before he and Orton collide for the WWE title at WWE Clash of Champions? I think they'll probably be like an RKO and Trouble in Paradise.
Maybe the Revival will be there.
Probably that too. Anyways, let's take some questions.
Yeah.
Lord
Ziffer, what are Cedric's chances of beating Styles on Sunday? I would love to see them hot potato the belt for a bit. I would say not terribly high. Not that Cedric doesn't deserve it. He does. I just feel like if they really want to have his win be a huge thing, then he's got to overcome the OC a few more times.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I feel like it's going to be in a situation where OC interferes, ref doesn't see it, AJ picks up the win. But Cedric, because of the interference, can lay claim to another match.
Let's see here.
This is a good question. Jay Sean Lawrence, power rank thing Stone Cold says to the person on the ground after he stunned them. So he's down there. He's shaking his head.
Oh, I think it's fully in character. I don't think he's trying to.
I think you're right, but I think the second time before he left the ring, after he stunned AJ, he probably said, "Hell of a sell there, son," or something like that.
Yeah,
he was just down there for a second.
Yeah, I could see that. You're probably right about that. Let's see here. Ty Farrar says, Discord member Butts brought this up last night. It could be a reference to Ezekiel 11:19, which says, "I will give them an undivided heart and put a new spirit in them. I will remove from them their heart of stone and give them a heart of flesh." That sounds pretty vague. I would think there'd be something a bit more meaty there.
Yeah.
I think it's just the Undertaker debuted at 11:19.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it is too.
Let's see here. Here we go. Butts. Speaking of butts. If they go with the 4 horsewomen in the main event, should it be for both women's titles, just one or none? I think they should.
They just did the 2 title thing though.
Well, I mean, they could make it like. They could just say, it was such a big deal last time. Let's do. Okay, like. Let's take this to Hell in a Cell, but it's winner take all. Ooh, wow, again, wow, cool. It's a big deal because they're doing winner takes all.
Yeah.
So they could frame it like that.
That's what they framed it as the last time.
Yeah, I know, but they could do it again.
No, all right. More but better. Carlos Davalos.
Add a third title to it.
There you go, perfect. Carlos Davalos. Anyone else think Stone Cold took Cedric Alexander's moment? It was big to see Cedric pin AJ clean, and I know the show needed to close fast, but I think Cedric at least deserved a bit of his song to play. Then they could have cut the Stone Colds. I think just a shot of Cedric to really hammer home what a moment it was for him. I think if we at least had gotten that little beat, just a shot of him with a bit of shock, but a lot of satisfaction for finally getting a pin on AJ.
Yeah.
And then have that on his face, and then glass breaks.
Yeah.
Out comes Stone Cold.
Like the first 5 seconds of his theme song, and then it's interrupted by the glass breaking.
Yeah.
Joe Juarez says here in chat, says the women's titles need to be unified. I don't think that's going to happen because of the split rosters with USA and Fox. However, that would be a way, which is essentially the exact same thing, but not, is to say this match is going to be for a unified title. Which is a little bit different than how they did it before because they didn't unify the titles.
PJ Segundo, could you see Sasha and Bayley doing a 2-woman power trip like Triple H in Austin? Yeah.
Sure.
That could happen.
Yeah.
That could lead to their eventual breakup.
Alex C. brings up a good point. Since the main event was planned during the show, Does that mean that in kayfabe they went to a show in Madison Square Garden with no planned main event?
Yeah.
Or maybe they
These
shuffled
shows are living, breathing organisms in terms of kayfabe.
Yeah, that's true. But I guess you could say maybe they were like, hey, the King of the Ring is a big deal. That's gonna be our main event, and then it's like, oh no, we can change it around now.
New information has come to light.
Yeah, well, let's make it a 10-man match.
This is a good question. Max Zero ahead of tonight's SmackDown. What are the chances Undertaker has actually been a dead man since the end of an era match? Kayfabe, of course.
Well, yeah, that'd be cool.
It'd be something interesting. Chris P. Bacon.
You see dead people.
Man, what if Seth and Braun retain the tag championships in questionable fashion, then Seth turns and joins the OC when facing Braun in the main event? I don't know. I really think it would spruce up Seth's character and be interesting to see how The Fiend plays in. Your thoughts, fellas? Chris Bacon out.
Not huge into it. Seems like when Patrick Ewing joined, what team was he in? Like the Sonics or something weird?
Yeah.
That was weird. MJ on the Wizards? That was weird.
Yeah.
Don't like it. What are some weird NBA pairings? Like Joe Montana and a Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was weird.
Anytime someone's is like such a foundational piece of a team, and then towards the tail end of their career, they go somewhere else.
Like, where was Dwight Howard just before he got
Memphis?
That's weird.
Well, he's been around so much.
The fact that he's still playing is weird.
That's kind of the weirder thing.
Seeing him in a slow Wolfpack jersey, that's weird.
Yeah, but they're just kind of weird looking jerseys at the same time. So I don't think that's necessarily who's in the jersey per se. It's just.
It's a good point.
I think some other people who
didn't Mutombo. Where did Mutombo go? Didn't
he
go
bounced
somewhere?
around a little bit too.
Did he go weird? Yeah, he went to a weird place, but it's not like he was. I mean, yeah, he was a Denver Nugget, but
then he was with Atlanta after that.
Did Sean Kemp ever go anywhere beyond Seattle?
Yeah, he went to Cleveland,
and he was like all chunky and weird.
Yeah,
that's weird.
Yeah, he went to Cleveland.
Yeah, when they get fat, it's weird.
Well, it's like Karl Malone played his entire career with Utah and then had that one season with the Lakers. That's weird.
Yeah, but
he's chasing a ring
in a super team environment. That's a little bit more normal because it's like, oh, they're doing super teams now. He's in the Lakers. Yeah, is it weird? Yes, but it's not sad because he's like in like the big time. Like LA and it's Lakers and
chasing rings,
chasing a ring with Gary Payton and Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool. And they didn't get that ring.
No, Detroit beat the heck out of them those finals, man. I remember watching that.
4-1.
It was great.
Lived in LA. It was awesome.
It was awesome. Excellence of flexecution. Larson, did you see AJ fixing his hair after he got stunned?
Oh, Elijah won in Toronto. Yeah, that's weird.
Oh, yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Anything in Toronto is weird, to be honest with you. Anyways, what now?
Excellence of flexecution asked, did I notice AJ fixing his hair after he got stunned? I was probably writing down notes, so I didn't notice it.
Ooh.
AKA Billy, have you guys checked out Asuka's YouTube channel? It's great.
I did, and yes, I agree. It is great. I saw I didn't watch the entire thing, but I watched her first video, and man, that girl is nothing but personality. It's fantastic.
JJ asked, what's our reaction to Bruce leaving Funhouse?
Oh, I think we talked about it on Overrun.
Overrun, I think.
Yeah.
Bruce is incredibly talented, smart, ambitious, driven dude.
They're doing a live. I think Internet Today is doing a live stream right now of doing
Gears 5
with Bruce.
Yeah. So I mean, if that's what's going to make him happy, that's what's going to fulfill him on a personal and professional level, then more power to him. Whatever he does, he's going to succeed at because he's that damn good.
I think Bruce is great.
Bruce is awesome,
and I think that's terrific. I think good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Who wouldn't want to just sleep in until however long you want, and then get on Twitch,
stream,
dick around for 8 hours, then watch some TV or something.
Yeah, go get some dinner.
He deserves it.
Yeah, man.
He deserves it,
Dude's
man.
been busting his butt.
Absolutely.
For a
that
number
dude
of
is
years.
man. He's only one of the hardest workers.
Yep, without a doubt.
And nothing but passion in that dude.
Yep.
Yeah, he's king.
Yep.
He's the king.
You think we can bring him on to help us?
To help us?
Yeah.
I'll bring him on and have him watch. I think that was one thing about Bruce, though. I think that he didn't like the pro wrestling.
Yeah, he doesn't like
thought
the
it was
wrestling.
crap because it was
really
predetermined and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure if he'd be a good fit here going in Raw. Plus, you and I like to chill a little bit. I'm not sure he's got much chill in him.
Oh, he's got some chill in him.
No, when it comes to work, man, he'd probably be like, "Listen, we got to do this and this and this." I'm like,
yeah. But once you get that out of the way, yeah, he's got some chill in him, man.
Yeah, whip us into shape. No, but he don't like pro wrestling. That's the bigger problem there.
Yeah, maybe.
He's not into pro wrestling. And besides, he doesn't want to build this brand. He wants to build his brand.
I understand that.
Did you hear what he said?
No, I didn't mean bring him on. Like, just have him come in for a week and like, hey, maybe if you do this a little bit better, you'll get 200,000 subscribers finally.
Oh, if he's going to consult, heck yeah.
Yeah.
I'll open up
I want to hang out with
pocketbook
Bruce
for him. Well, who doesn't want to do that?
Where's my title asked? It's not a Raw question, but do you think Triple H will use TakeOver to counter program AEW pay-per-views? So I didn't get a chance. I messed up, so I wasn't here yesterday when he did the video. It's my mistake.
You messed up and weren't here. You had stuff to take care of. You had business to take care of.
I had some stuff that I'd take care of. But I swung by here at like 1:45, and I'd completely brain farted that you didn't have your car. So I drove through the parking lot. I even parked. And I was like, his car's not here.
Oh, really? You should have texted me, man.
Well, I just forgot about the car situation. So I was like, oh, his car's must here. He must have just gone home to finish up.
Uh-huh.
And so I was like, all right, let's go to the gym. And that's it.
Yeah.
And then I was helping out my kid with her homework when you texted me about doing that video.
Oh, yeah.
And by the time I got done with that and checked my phone, you were done.
Is she at the math level yet where it's confusing to you? Because they
No.
get there so quick these days.
No.
I remember when one of my stepkids, I forget which one, hit the 6th grade. I was done. I was like, all right, you guys are doing this stuff already?
I think I'll be fine up until like the intermediate algebra. And after that, I'll be lost.
Yeah.
So I remember how to do the FOIL thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
very
then
confusing.
I was never good at geometry. So
Yeah, me neither.
trigonometry, I might remember that stuff. I don't remember any of the calculus stuff at all.
If you're lucky, math won't be their strong suit.
Actually, my older daughter really likes doing math.
No, that's going to be a bummer for you, man.
I always did fine in math. So hopefully, as she learns, it'll come back to me too.
Yeah. Yeah. Good luck with that. I thought the same thing, and I was like, nope, nothing. I did enough to just get out. Yeah. So news brief. Going back to news brief.
Oh yeah, sorry. So the takeover stuff. So apparently,
yeah, I don't like doing that stuff by myself, but I did it.
Yeah, I was really. I mean, I personally was upset that I wasn't here to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was apologetic, and still my apologies for brain farting on that yesterday.
Yeah, it is what it is.
But then you said something like the smoke alarm was beeping the whole time and stuff like that. So it was kind of a train wreck.
And then on top of that, like YouTube didn't send notifications out for the video because we had to re-upload the podcast from yesterday. So that ate up one of our notifications, which apparently we can go in and like set whether or not we want a notification to go out for certain things or not. Like best of, there was no need for a notification. I didn't have to do that. That's
really, when you upload
right
a video and people are subscribed to your channel, they should be made aware there's a video on the channel. That's the whole point of subscribing.
It's the world we live in, man.
Anyways, so there's no takeover Rumble weekend. Instead, we're getting Worlds Collide. It'd be cool if they did that, whether it be it'd probably be a tournament, like a one-day tournament. If you win that, you get the 30 spot at the Royal Rumble. I think that'd be a great idea. I think that'd be neat.
This is why you should have been here yesterday, because you have insight.
On the Royal Rumble card, I think it'd be really cool if at least I think on the major 4 pay-per-views, it'd be super cool if the NXT title was defended on those cards. I think that'd be awesome. And then you can still have your 4 takeovers a year.
Yeah, sure.
That aren't tied to the major pay-per-views.
Yeah, they don't need to be anymore.
I mean, I think if maybe they learned with the last one in Bridgeport, that, hey, these do just fine standing alone on their own. We don't need to tie them to a pay-per-view. Because it looks like also, like Raw and SmackDown aren't going to be in Houston after the Rumble. They've stopped.
Yeah, they weren't part of the travel package either.
They're not going to do the full 5-day thing. Maybe part of that is because SmackDown's on Friday now. They just can't.
Mm-hmm.
They just can't do it now.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, that's all. I really love that that Worlds Collide. I mean, the one thing that WWE has to realize at this point is that they have, and you see this with all the buzz of Cesaro versus Ilya Dragunov, and anytime something like that happens, you have so much talent amongst all your rosters. A yearly tournament for, like you said, the number 30 spot, a yearly tournament where you have all the rosters getting together is a terrific concept. It's a great concept.
Yep.
All in one show in front of 20,000 people or 18,000, or whatever it is. That is an awesome idea. Takeovers can exist on their own. What I don't want to see, what I absolutely do not want to see, is countering AEW pay-per-views with takeovers. NXT is too good. I understand. I totally get NXT. It was already on Wednesdays. They moved it to cable television for a big money deal.
Yeah.
And they did that to counter AEW. It's a win-win-win situation.
Yeah.
NXT's ready for the next level. It's ready for cable TV. It's ready for 2 hours. It's ready for a big money deal. And you have it already on the night where AEW's programming their stuff. I think that's just fine.
Yeah.
But then if they do decide, hey, when is AEW going to have a thing? Let's put a takeover there. That's a stupid idea.
Yeah,
that's a horrible
You're getting
idea.
to the point then where
It's desperate.
Where you're desperate and you're too reactionary.
You're reactionary, and you're devaluing your own brand. You're devaluing.
Yeah, it's completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
Completely unnecessary.
Yeah. So I really don't want that to be the case.
Hey, NXT, just do your own thing.
Just do your own thing.
Do your own thing.
Turn yourself in to your own brand.
Yeah.
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 Let's see here. Any other good cry? I just got to the Patreon.
Oh, okay. I went through most of them.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I didn't ask all of them, but
most
of them.
Yeah, these are those you asked the good ones. All right, cool. Anyways, for Overrun today, maybe we'll look at Ringside News and see what they have to say about wrestling these days. We'll figure it out. Anyways, want to say thanks to everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. And until next time, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 200,000. Anyway.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Until next time, I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Be a part of Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Steven Larson. Starting at $1 a month, you can enjoy Going In Raw ad-free, gain access to the daily 30-minute Going In Raw post show, exclusive merchandise, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.